Hello everyone. Today we are here to discuss about the bioavailability and bioequivalence, which is one of the important aspect of drug product performance. When we consider the in vivo performance of a drug product, that time the bioavailability and bioequivalence studies are very important. Now, a drug, as all we know, that is the therapeutic agent which is required to produce a desired pharmacological effect, and a dosage form that deliver these active moieties to the site of application or site of the action or at the target tissues to produce desired therapeutic effect. During the transit of a drug from the target tissue, it has to undergo various steps such as drug release from the drug product. Once it is released from the drug product, it undergoes absorption, permeation, and then it undergoes which includes the concept of drug metabolism, drug distribution, and drug excretion. We can say the therapeutic effectiveness of a drug depends on the ability of dosage form to deliver to its site of action at the rate and amount sufficient to elicit the desired pharmacological response. So everything depends how the drug reaches to the site of action, and based upon that a desired pharmacological response. Now, to understand the concept of bioavailability, we will consider a simple example of a solid dosage form. This solid dosage form, once it is consumed, first of all it has to undergo disintegration. Then drug has to release from the drug product, and then it goes into the solution form. When drug reaches to the solution form, some amount of drug, it may get precipitated, it may get adsorbed, or it may get enzymatic or chemical degradation due to various gastrointestinal content. The remaining amount of drug, it absorbs across gastrointestinal. During this transit across gastrointestinal epithelium, some amount of a drug get metabolized, that we called as gut wall extraction, and it is denoted as EG. The absorbed drug reaches to the liver, where first pass metabolism or hepatic metabolism takes place, that we call as hepatic metabolism or hepatic extraction, and it is denoted as a EH. After metabolism, drug reaches to the systemic circulation, and through which it gets distributed to the various tissues or at the receptor level to produce the pharmacological action. The availability of a drug, when how much amount is consumed and only fraction reaches to the site of action, because of various factors as we discussed earlier, such as precipitation, adsorption, or enzymatic degradation in the gastrointestinal tract. Then metabolism may be at the gut wall or hepatic, and process of excretion through a suitable route of excretion. So only fraction of drug reach to the systemic circulation. and the rate and extent to which the drug is reaches to the systemic circulation that we call as bioavailability. So here the term bioavailability we can define as which the active ingredient or active moiety is absorbed from the drug product and become available at the site of action, that we call as bioavailability. Bioavailability of a intravenously administered drug is 100% because completely drug is injected intravenously into the systemic circulation. If bioavailability of two or more drug products are found to be similar, then they are called as bioequivalent. So in another term, bioequivalent products means they are having similar bioavailability. So as per US FDA guidelines, we can define this bioavailability as the absence of significant difference the active ingredient or active moiety in the pharmaceutical equivalents or pharmaceutical alternatives becomes available at the site of drug action when administered at the same molar dose under similar conditions in an appropriately designed study. There are total 4 types of equivalence. First one, that is a chemical equivalent, where the drug product contains the same labeled chemical substance as active in the same amount. So here the chemical substance or active ingredient is same, and the amount of that active ingredient, that is also same. Such drug products, we can say they are chemically equivalent. The next one, therapeutic equivalence, the product that contains same and they show the same efficacy and safety. Therapeutically, in previous one, chemically they are same, means they contain same amount of substance, same amount of same substance, while in case of therapeutic equivalence, the two or products under consideration that contain the same active substance and they are producing the same therapeutic efficacy. Next one, pharmaceutical equivalents, that are the drug products that are contain identical active ingredient and in the identical strength and concentration or dosage form, but not necessarily containing same inactive ingredients. For example, the genuine branded product and generic, they are containing the active ingredient in same quantity and the concentration of that also same, but the inactive ingredient may be differ. And last one, pharmaceutical alternatives, that drug products contain the identical therapeutic moiety but not necessarily in the same amount. So sometimes we are using these alternatives also because they are containing the identical therapeutic moiety, and although the amount of drug present, it is not same. Now to important concepts regarding this, that is bioavailability and bioequivalence study. So this bioavailability, as it is a well documented systematic study performed on a new drug or drug product to determine and establish essential pharmacokinetic parameters such as rate and extent of absorption, metabolism, distribution and excretion after administration of a single or multiple dose of a drug. So this study we use for the determination and establishment of various pharmacokinetic parameters of a new drug product. Here it is a systematic protocol systematic protocol is followed here to carry out this study, and the specified amount of drug is administered to the human volunteers, and then after a particular period of time, blood sample or urine sample is analyzed. Dynamic effects also analyzed, and based upon that, the various pharmacokinetic parameters are determined to confirm the rate and extent of drug absorption, or drug, how much drug is reached to the site of action. Bioequivalence study. It is a study designed to determine the equivalence between two drug products by performing bioavailability studies. When any drug product is newly developed, means actually it is not a genuine research, but a generic product. When it is developed, instead of carrying out the complete regulatory studies, here it is said that to perform the bioavailability studies or bioequivalence studies, means here want to show the equivalence of bioavailability between the two drug products. Means one is a reference drug product and another one is a test drug product. This bioavailability and bioequivalence studies are very important for development of new drug entity, then determination of effect, of various excipients and formulation factors, then to determine the effect of patient related factors, possible interactions with other drugs, then as a quality control tool for drug and drug, determine the effect of processing factors, storage conditions and stability of a drug, and to determine the equivalence between test product and the standard product, drug product. Some terminologies that we are using in our subsequent classes, that is, first one, bioavailable dose, that is dose available to the patient to give therapeutic effect. Then bioavailable fraction, that is it is a ratio of bioavailable dose and the actually administered dose. Then systemic bioavailability, this is the amount of drug reaches to the systemic circulation. There are two types of bioavailability, and another one is a relative bioavailability. When the comparison between orally administered drug is with the standard IV drug product, then we can say it is a absolute bioavailability. While the comparison between systemic availability of a orally administered formulation with an standard oral formulation, that is between two extravascular formulation, then it is called as a relative bioavailability. So today we seen the basic concepts behind bioavailability, what are the importance of bioavailability, and what are the different types of. Thank you. Hello everyone.